guys, welcome back to another episode of Big Brother Chat with Carla
and Willie
and Lindsay.
Welcome back, Lindsay.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we just wanted to recap a little bit real quick of what's been going on in the house. So last week was a double eviction.
We love double eviction. Woo-hoo.
So, of course, Jess was the first one that was evicted out of the house. She was a unanimous vote of 4-0.
I was sad to see her go.
Yeah.
I'd like to have seen her go a little bit longer.
She could have made it if she would have played a little bit stronger game,
Right.
in my opinion.
She
But,
came out with a bang and then
Yeah.
kind of fizzled out. So yeah.
but after she was evicted, then they went directly into the next HOH comp, and it was a puzzle comp.
Yes.
So Nicole,
Where'd she come from?
She ended up pulling one out for a win. She was all upset. She got to see pictures of her family that she's been talking about for a minute. And then she, of course, nominated the other side of the house because we're down to all three just couples at that point. So it was Tommy and Christy, Cliff and Nicole, and then Mickey and Holly. So you had all couples, and what's going to happen? They got to go for someone at some point.
What would you have done?
I honestly would have taken a bigger shot.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like, I mean, Tommy and Christy, yeah, Christy's a good competitor, but I would have put up Christy and probably Mickey.
I would have put one from each.
Yeah.
Regardless. But yeah, that would have done that.
Yeah. That would have been the better option.
She went the safe. She went with that Final Four deal
Yeah.
that she had. With
She
me.
did. She held true to that Final Four.
She did. She did. And we'll see how it plays out with what happens. So continue. Because that was a huge episode.
That was. Yeah, that was a big episode. It was long, too, I felt like. But the power of veto, Cliff was the winner.
Yep.
And of course, he didn't use the veto. He kept it on the same, being true to that alliance that they had with the Final Four. Which ended up, guess who got evicted?
It was finally Christy's time to go.
Finally, Christy's time to go, which I was kind of a little sad to see her because she does play BB kind of well, even though she loses her mind some. But she was good at strategy, and I thought her and Tommy would make it to the end.
Yeah.
But kind of bitter in the butt.
Yeah, she had a mouth on her.
She did. She did. She had unfiltered.
Yeah, she was unfiltered entertainment.
Absolutely. And her and Mickey just butted heads.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But unanimous vote of 3-0, and she was out of that house.
She was.
Which led us into the next HOH.
Yes. This was a pivotal HOH to win. And so tell us about that.
So we got down to 5, and guess, of course, who won?
Here we go again. It's Mickey.
Wah, wah, wah.
Just make a bigger target on your back. I mean,
Right,
that's always the
right.
best way to do it. So, of course, guess who the noms are for that? There's only a handful left, so
We only have
you
few
don't want
choices.
Yeah, not much,
Yeah.
not much. And I was kind of thinking maybe he would take a hit at Holly, but he didn't.
No, that's his boo. That's a
is.
side piece.
That is.
Yeah.
But that's also his biggest competitor. Whether he wants to
Definitely.
admit it or not,
Yeah.
that is his biggest competitor who can actually go head to head with him at the end.
But he ended up putting up Tommy and Cliff.
Tommy and Cliff. So he stayed true to his little. Him and Nicole have a little bit of a sideline. So I guess he respects her a little bit and had promised not to put her up or something. So he put up then. When he won the HOH, did you guys see in the diary room that they showed on the last episode how cocky he was? This was his shoe-in for him and Holly to make it. So
Expect that.
here comes some spoilers, y'all.
Yeah, spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear them, go ahead and stop this right now and just like and comment below. We'll take it. It'll be okay. But yeah, so why don't you tell us about the spoiler?
Well, they have the POV, which we haven't seen yet. That will air on the next show.
That's tonight.
That's tonight's show. But we do know that it was the BB Comics. So as you know, the BB Comics, they have to have that little zip line. I'm assuming it's the same setup that it's always had. And they have to zoom past it, looking at the comics, and then
Rearrange.
do the task and pull them out. Well, winner chicken dinner was.
Nicole.
Nicole. Oh my God, that made me so happy.
Like, where did
So
she
happy for
come
her.
from? I'm like, all of a sudden, Nicole.
Exactly. She pulled a second out of nowhere. Yeah, she's.
In less than a couple days, I mean, of each other. So, because they do the POV on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So this was on last Saturday. So Nicole won. So they've already had the POV ceremony. They do that on Mondays, their time. So, but then it shows on a Wednesday show. So why don't you tell us what she did with the nominations?
Well, she did what I thought she should have done, and she
Absolutely.
used the POV to take Cliff down. And who's left to go up?
Just one.
Only Holly. Holly's the only option, so
Holly.
Mickey's gonna have to put Holly up on the block.
That he did. That he did. So Holly is on the block. This is something they did not think about. They were not smart enough to think a few steps ahead to protect themselves.
I don't think they thought that
They
through
did
at all.
not. They didn't, but Cliff and Nicole were. And they were kind of waiting on that. So, with that being said, they hold the power in the house now. And
That's
they can
right.
vote Holly out, and I'm happy to report that on the feeds, the lady that is leaving will be Holly on Thursday.
Unless she swings something out, but from what everyone's been saying, it looks like she is going home.
No, and I think that Mickey has come to realize, because they have had some major blow-ups. They finally got some alcohol. This cast has not had much alcohol this season. Well, apparently they gave it to them, and Holly,
She showed her butt.
she did, and her and Mickey were fighting into the wee hours of the night, and Mickey didn't take it so kindly. So I think he needs to use this as an excuse if he wants to make it to the end, to let her go and not fight for her. That's what I would do.
I mean, you gotta realize, at the end of the day, you're fighting for $500,000 or $50,000 or America's
Spot
favorite.
Right.
So, I mean, you gotta find something. There's 3 winners in this game, and sometimes it changes to where, you know, the one that ends up winning the game wins the America's favorite. So,
Right. So I think it can be a blessing for his game. But I'll be happy to see Holly go. So yeah, so that's my prediction. What's your prediction on Thursday? Who's going?
I think Holly's gonna go.
We all
I think Holly's
agreement?
definitely
Yeah.
going home, yes.
Bye, bye, bye. Bye, Holly.
But I mean, overall, I think it's starting to wind down. People are really starting to hone in on their game and start playing a little bit more stronger moves.
Yes.
Now, if Holly goes home, what's y'all's prediction for the next HOH? Who's gonna win?
Well, Mickey won't
Mickey
be able to
can't play, so it's just gonna be.
Cliff, Tommy, or Nicole. Right?
I think it really depends on what it's gonna be.
Before we go into that, I will tell you, I don't know if you've been watching the feeds much, but now it has turned into, jury management the past couple weeks has been really, really strong. They are talking and having little activities to get to know one another. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do? You know, what about this? What about that? And talking about a lot of the players and getting to know each other because they're starting to try to make those connections.
And see, with something with that too, Mickey had an issue over that when she was talking about doing that, and she was going to sit and interview people.
Right.
You know, and he was like, well, why are you doing that? He was like making it as if it was a stupid idea.
Right.
But I think it's a good idea because, I mean, you're helping the viewers like us get to know people inside the house instead of just
Right.
what they do on Big Brother, you know.
Well, that's pulling out that social aspect of the game, which can win you the game more so than comps. There have been people that have not won hardly any comps or none at all and have won just based on that social game. So at this point, they're really punching up that social game, which I guess some of the hot topics that we have jotted down. What did Tommy do once Mickey won HOH?
He opened his mouth.
Tommy. Why?
To go ahead and tell him that Christy and him are they've
Buddies.
known each other. Like,
Right.
why would you do that?
Why on earth would you do that? It made no sense to me.
It's this late in the game too. Like, they're gonna find out when you get home.
That was pre-nominations. So why would you tell the 2 powerhouses at that time, Holly and Mickey, that you had a secret to reveal, that you were friends with another house guest and you guys kind of had a little sidelines. You've got a secure jury vote. Why on earth? That would make you the prime target.
Absolutely. It's been an even bigger target on his back.
Absolutely. And I don't understand why in the world people need to open their mouths. You kept quiet all 8, 9 days.
Yeah.
At that point, why on earth?
You can't hold it in for like another 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
But it did bite him in his butt, which I was really surprised because when I saw that happening on the feeds, I was like, "You're going up." But so it didn't really hurt his game, unfortunately. But it could come later on. So yeah. Okay. So anything else happening in the house that you've seen besides the big fight between Mickey and Holly?
I like to say in Mickey's HOA room, HOH room, did you guys see how many watermelons?
Oh, he's got like 5 or 60 gallons
like
every time.
20 damn watermelons
Yeah.
all on one
Lined
spot.
up.
Like,
He's literally obsessed.
Well, he eats watermelons constantly. I will say one thing that he did, because Nicole being the double last week, in the double, that HOH does not get the HOH room. So they do get a basket, but they don't get the full, benefits.
Yeah.
Full
of the room.
experience, yeah.
Right. And Mickey gave up his room to her for a couple days.
yeah, that was nice of him.
They have asked for it back so that
Yeah.
Holly can have some peace.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. So I thought that was kind of nice, and I figured that was probably jury management,
That was
Yeah.
jury management and
to look good
looking for
and all that.
America's vote.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So that being said,
That was nice.
that was nice.
Yeah.
So that's one of the nice things he's done to, I guess, get rid of some of the other bad stuff he did early in the season. That a lot of us have kind of forgotten about.
Mhm.
But yeah. So we know HOH. We're pretty sure Holly's going home unless some miraculous thing happens today or tomorrow, which I don't expect it. I think Cliff and
It would not be in
Nicole-
their best interest to keep her.
No.
No, I don't think so either. So with Holly going home, we all in agreement of that. Who would you like to see HOH next?
Honestly, I'd like to see Tommy as HOH.
He'll have to draw a line because he's been sitting in the middle
Yeah.
of these two.
But I mean, honestly, like that's a guaranteed spot to the finale.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so yeah, I mean,
Right.
they're gonna have to make some decisions.
Right. So we're what, 2 weeks from finale?
Mm-hmm.
So just a couple more shows left. One pivotal HOH. So you'd like to see Tommy. I'd like to see Tommy. Nicole can't play.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Mickey
Mickey
can't
can't play. So that leaves Cliff,
Nicole and Tommy.
Nicole, and Tommy.
And then, I mean, honestly, if Tommy's working with Cliff and Nicole, I mean, they can easily get Mickey out, which would be the smart move.
Yes.
Because he's a comp beast.
He would, that endurance comp at the
Mhm.
end, he would
Yep.
have that. Yeah, and he's done pretty good on some of the memory and some of the strategic type of comps. So yeah, I would like to see Nicole or Tommy, not Cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big Cliff fan. Are you guys a Cliff fan?
I'm kind of a Cliff fan, but I guess I'm gonna go with the unpopular opinion here. I would kind of like to see Cliff win the last HOH.
Yeah,
I have a feeling, I don't know, I just have a feeling if he doesn't win it, there's a good chance he's going home unless Nicole wins.
Yeah.
I think because of his social game.
Yeah.
I don't mind Cliff. I wish this whole season it had flip-flopped a little bit better instead of been so
Yeah.
one-sided. I like to see gameplay. I like to see people taking chances and going against the grain. And we haven't seen a lot of that this year. Jessica
Yeah.
started but got stomped
I think they had their opportunity to get Mickey out like 2 or 3 times at this point.
already.
And they're just not taking advantage of a shot at a big game player.
Right.
And,
I mean, they could have backdoored Mickey last time.
Mhm.
They had the opportunity
Nicole
to backdoor
could have done
Mickey.
it. Yeah,
Cliff could have, used the veto
Right.
and they could have put Mickey up and they could have had him out just like that.
he could have
So
been gone like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Mhm.
So, but it is what it is. We just never know which way the game's going to navigate. Okay, so we were all in agreement on who's leaving. You want to do a rundown on who's left in the house and what we're predicting?
yeah.
Okay, Cliff. What kind of player we think he is? Obviously social.
Yeah, he's a social player. I think he has the potential to get America's vote.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely. I wouldn't mind seeing him win because he's been an underdog, sort of, kind of. Kind of Nicole and Tommy has all 3 of them. One of the 3 of them I'd be happy. Mickey, if he makes it to the end, it's like.
I think honestly, like when it comes down to votes, if it came up between Nicole and Tommy, I think that's going to be a hard one right there.
It's gonna be hard for Christy because she's promised Nicole her vote.
Mm-hmm. But then,
but then Tommy. I'm not
So
sure.
I mean,
That will be a hard. All right, so let's go down. Cliff as a player, what do you see him?
he's all right. He's all okay player. I mean, competition wise, he's meh.
He's won when he needed to, though.
He has.
He's won a couple times when he
He
really
has.
needed to pull it out. He's pulled it out. I
He's
can't help it.
done.
I'm a Cliff fan.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so then Tommy.
Tommy, he's all right. I'm a tweener on him.
Tommy has been playing to the cameras and playing for America's Vote very hard.
But that's what can
He
cost you
did
that vote.
reveal on the
Agreed.
feeds the other night that he had made it to some of the final casting for Over the Top season, but he didn't make it. So I could see him being on that cast, that Over the Top. But he's okay. I think he's made it so far because he's rode in between the two different powers
Power
that
players,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, and kind of used Christy as a clutch, to kind of help him, and she made a lot of the plays to get them as far. So yeah, Nicole,
I think she has the potential to win it all.
I do too. She is the superior underdog. She's had to flip flop in alliances and.
I mean, they were trying to blow her out of the game to begin with at
Right.
the beginning. They were
Right.
trying to make up lies that she did this and she
Right.
did that.
Right.
So I think she played a really good game at this point.
And she's upped her comp game and her social game.
Yep.
So okay, so then Mickey.
Mickey.
We already know he's a comp beast. I mean, that's a
Comp beast,
given.
right? He's got some negatives in the season. It really comes down to how bitter the jury is, and I'm not sure that this is going to be a very bitter jury. I'm not sure. Not many people have gone out very angrily.
No, I think some people have gone out surprised.
Surprised.
Yeah, and where it has fallen in a lot has to do with getting him and Holly do got blood on their hands.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They
So-
do. So I think. All right, let's run a few scenarios. Mickey and Nicole. Who
If it
wins?
came up to Mickey and Nicole would definitely win that.
You think?
I
think
don't
it'd
know
be
if I
close.
agree. I don't know
I
if
think
I
it's
agree
gonna
with
be
that.
close.
I would, of course, love for Nicole to win it, but I really think that Mickey does have some friends in the jury house. I mean,
Jackson.
Jack, Sis. I mean, those are people that he was, pretty much aligned with the majority of the game, and I don't think they really went out with bad blood with him. So
Right. I think a lot
I
of
think he
it.
still has a good chance of their votes.
I think a lot of it comes down to what's happened in the jury house. People think, the game ends for them once they go to jury. That's not true. A lot goes down in the jury house, a lot that we don't know
Because they
about.
get to see who got evicted and how they got evicted next.
It also depends on who goes in and who says what, because some people can really stir the pot inside the jury house. So I think Nicole and Mickey, that's going to be a very close vote.
I think so too.
Okay, Tommy and Mickey. I think Mickey's got it. over.
Mickey as far as gameplay goes, Tommy as far as social game goes.
Yeah, yeah. I think Mickey
That's a hard one.
I think Mickey would pull that one out too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
When it came down to it.
Right.
People are gonna look at how many comps he won and they're gonna give it to him, I think.
Did we do Tommy and Nicole? That's hard too.
Yeah, that's a hard one as well. What about Nicole and Cliff?
I think Nicole and Cliff.
That would be a really hard
I
one.
think Nicole would get it. But I don't know. Cliff's kind of been the dad to a lot of them.
Especially with Jess and Christy and
Right.
now let's say luck would have it and Holly ends up staying in
Okay.
between Mickey and Holly.
Mickey's got it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have Sis in there. Sis and Holly were good buddies.
Kat and Holly were close.
Whew,
I think
that's
that'd be a tough one too.
That would be a
And then
tough
That'd be
one.
a tough one, too.
Christy would be with Holly.
I think that would
Yeah,
come
too.
down to between Holly and Mickey who won that last and who took who.
Mm-hmm.
And if it came down to the two of them, I don't think Mickey would take Holly.
It wouldn't be in his best interest for sure.
Would Holly take Mickey?
I think she would.
I think she would too.
I think she would.
I don't think she would have just given her that $500,000 away.
Yeah.
So I think that would determine on who won that last HOH and who took who.
And I think that's been a lot of the motivation for Nicole is, hey, I gotta win this.
Right.
It's-
And I think with those close votes that we've been talking about, it will come down to who won that last HOH and who took who. Because that comp they seem to be very comp driven, and that might determine their vote. And the questions, it gets down to the questions, we didn't talk about that when they get interviewed by the jury house. Christy would have won over anybody because that child could.
She's a gift to gab for sure.
Cliff is just kind of cool, calm, and collective. Mickey, I think would get very energized. Tommy is an actor, so I think he could put on a show. Nicole might get tripped up on her words. She can be emotional. So I'm not sure. I think Nicole could do good depending on who she's up against.
And I think this next HOH is going to be important because
Absolutely.
if someone wins this next HOH and gets Mickey out, I mean, that's a huge game move. That's going to,
Yeah, you're
That's
gonna have to
gonna
make
really
a
be
move for
crucial.
Ian.
So-
Absolutely, because the same questions. Well, what did you do to get you to where you are? And what lies did you? I hate those questions. Don't y'all hate those?
What lies did you say that hurt? Yeah.
It's a game, you guys. A game. I did what I needed to do. Is how I would answer.
Well, a lot of
And that's
people-
why you're sitting there and I'm sitting here.
But I think like a lot of people, like you said, they didn't leave out so salty like last
Right.
season's. They all been like, oh,
Right.
I made a mistake. Like they see and realize where they made their mistakes.
I
on
think
things.
that's probably because so many of them in the jury house are true gamers of BB.
Yeah.
True love, they just truly love the
Yeah.
game. And I think that's why you don't have such a bitter jury.
Now I would say that in the jury house, I've been following the Instagram feeds for
Uh-huh.
Big Brother, and you can see kind of they gave a little tour and stuff of the house and all that stuff. And Nick kind of seems a little salty sitting in there. He doesn't interact as much as he did in the BB house.
Well,
He
he
is-
was kind of a loner in the house at times. He would withdraw, and he's kind of emotional. It's kind of all over the place. And he had said some stuff when he was in there. I was like, "Ooh, you work with children, okay?"
I thought that too. I was like, wow, his career doesn't match the person I'm
Right.
seeing, but okay.
I was like, "All right, okay."
Okay, kids.
So, anything else to add? I'm excited for this week. You guys excited? I know last week was our fun week.
Yeah.
Just the double.
This one's the important week.
This is the important one. So,
This is who is going to finale.
right.
Yeah.
This is going to really determine who goes. So we're all in agreement. Holly's probably going to go. Yes. She's even accepting it, even though she's boohooing all night long. Unless they pull something out, I just don't see it. I think Tommy and
I think Cliff and Nicole are smarter than that at
they're
this point.
smart.
Please be.
I think they need to know that they need to think those last comps. That's one last person because Cliff can't hold on in endurance.
No.
Nicole can. She proved that. She was able to play along. And a lot of those last HOH comps are like dangling in water and on ropes and stuff like that. So Holly would pull that out of her. So they need to really think about that.
Yeah. They really should.
Absolutely. Don't make a $500,000 mistake.
Right. And, we thought a few had been made, but had Nicole not won, we would have been total different discussion.
Yeah.
Today. Absolutely. We would have known who was going to be in the final two. One or the other, Holly or Mickey,
Yeah.
would have been there.
And see if Tommy would have won that, it would have been Cliff sitting, or not Cliff, Nicole sitting up there.
And I think they would have voted Nicole out.
Yep.
Yep. So, you guys let us know below who you want to exit the BB house and go to jury. And give us a prediction on who you think is going to win the HOH or who you would like to win the HOH. So,
Yeah. This is an important week. So.
it is. We're getting down. The feeds are kind of boring. So, anybody that watches the feeds, they're kind of boring. But they're still kind of fun to watch. They're up really late again. This past couple days, they've been up really
Yeah,
late.
they're back at it again.
Yeah. So,
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And
Yes.
like, share, comment below, tell us your predictions, and have a great day. We'll see you next time.
bye, y'all.